Hello, Home Slices is here with Home Slice Adulting coming to you with a review for Season 1, Episode 3 of The Equalizer called Judgment Day, featuring Queen Latifah. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. So let's just go ahead and get into this. So I think that I am starting to really like the show. One of the things that I realized while I was watching it, I think in my previous review, I called it cheesy. And I think that being able to watch things on Netflix and Amazon Prime and particularly HBO Max has kind of raised my tolerance for more gory types of stuff or programming. There are certain shows that I cannot watch because my sensibilities are just not there. So when it comes to shows like Narcos or shows like what's the show that the Ozarks. Ozark, can't watch that. Shows that are about drugs, The Wire, like that type of stuff I can't watch. I can't deal with that. Plus I think a lot of times they portray people of color in this we're drug dealers kind of light, and I don't want to play into that. So anyways, that's neither here nor there. But there are some things that like HBO Max has that I really enjoy, that just because it's HBO Max and because it's not regular cable that anybody can access, the sex factor is up here and the violence factor is up here and the gore factor is up here. And I think that has really changed my sensibility towards being able to watch those types of things. But because this is CBS and this is like prime time television, of course they're not going to be able to do that. So I think that while I agree there are some moments that are cheesy, that my sensibilities have changed now that I have access to more raw television. So keep that in mind when I'm doing this review. But anyways, on this particular episode, we see Queen Latifah. Let me tell y'all something. Queen Latifah's hair, whoever is doing that flexi rod set or whatever they are doing to her hair to make those uniform curls, it's just beautiful. I freaking love her hair. And the jackets that she wears on the show, I don't even know what to call those jackets, but they are really cool. They are long and kind of go down to the knees, but they kind of purposely look oversized. Whoever is styling Queen Latifah, whoever is doing her hair, it's on point. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Okay, so moving on, we start off the show. We see a man who has escaped from prison. He gets a little care package in the woods that was left for him by somebody who's helping him on the outside with some clothes and some money. He goes to the house of the person who has helped him escape and finds the guy dead. And so now he literally has nowhere to go because there's a dead guy that helped him escape from prison. And now that person's blood is on his hands. So Queen Latifah receives a call from help from that guy's lawyer. Apparently 10 years ago, he was accused of murdering a young lady. And the lawyer is getting in touch with Queen Latifah because the guy obviously can't go to the police because they're going to turn him back and return him to prison. But the guy broke out of prison because the person who was helping him was named Tommy, who was his cellmate, overheard another prisoner in the same jail admit to the crimes that he was charged for. So he breaks out of jail so they can go confront this guy who confessed, but somebody got to Tommy first. So the lawyer, as a result of this case, just kind of turned to the bottle, and he's been a crappy lawyer ever since, but it's really been on his conscience, and he needs to help this guy out more than he did 10 years ago. Okay, so whatever. So Queen Latifah starts looking into it. She ends up finding the guy. I think his name was Dale. She ends up finding Dale and saying, hey, you can't contact your family. I'm going to help you. We're going to find this person who supposedly confessed to this crime. They have a nickname for him which is preacher. That's it. So they end up finding the guy who turns out to be DeVale Ellis, who I've seen around. I knew he was an actor. I seen him act on some Tyler Perry stuff. I follow his wife on Instagram. I saw them first, I think, on Black Love, which is another great show on the OWN network. But I kind of didn't know what they did at first. At first, I was like, who are these two people on Black Love? I don't know who they are. And more, I've been seeing them. So, whatever. So, DeVale ends up playing the character of Preacher. And he gets he gets bested by Queen Latifah. It's pretty funny. But Queen Latifah breaks into his apartment. He comes after her with a bat. She, beats him down and ties him up and asks him some questions. Basically, he says, I was committing a string of burglaries and somebody used my crime to cover up a murder because I didn't murder her. And I wasn't going to confess because I'm a black man. She's a white woman. They was going to put me under the jail. One of the things, right? Okay, so one of the things that I like about this show is that they don't shy away from issues of race. I don't think that cop shows normally do, but for whatever reason, it feels different. It just feels different. Additionally, I think that I would assume that this is part of Queen Latifah's influence, but towards the beginning of this episode, she was listening to the Humpty Dance and embarrassing her daughter at school or whatever, and her daughter, so that her daughter wasn't hanging out with a friend that she used to really be close to, but her playing this song and rapping along to it, it felt normal and natural, and that's something that felt different about the show. But anyways, moving on. So Queen Latifah gets back in touch with Dale and basically says, Preacher didn't do it. We're looking into some other leads, but you still need to lay low. You can't contact your family. And he's like over it. And he's like, the only lead that I have has an alibi for the night that the original girl 10 years ago was murdered and for the night that Tommy was murdered. So the police officer, whose name escapes me, the Officer Dante, is the one that's been looking for Queen Latifah to figure out what's going on with her and who she is and why she's a vigilante and all that type of stuff and why he can't find anything on her. So this episode, they really start using Officer Dante to kind of, handle some stuff, get some information, try to, pull him into the vigilante type of stuff. And it works because Queen Latifah has been checking in on old boy. Apparently, Officer Dante's father was a cop who worked for a long time and then kind of got busted for being crooked. So now he's trying to do everything right, has a big sense of justice, is trying to do everything by the book and by the letter for the most part, so that he can atone for his father's sins, right? So that's that. Anyways, Queen Latifah pieces some stuff together. She needs Officer Dante's help. He helps her. They find out that a judge is involved. There was a person who's a judge now that used to be the DA that they feel helped to cover up some information that they found. So Queen Latifah gets Dante to go to the DA now to look into some stuff because there was some evidence that went missing. Okay, so and now they're relying on the kindness of this DA lady and the curiosity of this DA lady to go after a judge, which of course is a big deal. So she's kind of reluctant at first, but she's like, I'm gonna need your source. And at the end of the day, Dante doesn't give her up. So there starts to be this kind of development of a little sexual tension between Queen Latifah and this Officer Dante. I think Queen Latifah likes being chased, and I think he likes chasing this mystery woman. So we'll see if they have any chemistry later on. But at the end of the day, they get everything straightened out. The current DA pulls a Hail Mary. The lawyer basically is like, I'm going to ask you to recuse yourself because you was withholding information. Because Queen Latifah found out that the judge's son went to college with the real murderer and that she had actually provided that guy, the murderer, with details about Preacher's burglaries. And because of that, he used that information to make it look like the person committing the burglaries had murdered the young lady. And she I didn't like the way she kind of twisted things at the end when she finally, the guy finally and cornered her because she also released the person who kind of was hired to kill Tommy, who was Dale's old cellmate who helped him break out of prison. So she was basically saying like that guy was uh, threatening her and saying that he was going to call her an accomplice if she didn't help him or whatever. So anyways, the judge gets arrested and she flips on the doctor as a murderer so that they can keep it quiet. So the murderer gets arrested, Dale gets released from jail, and Dale was in police custody because his son turned him in. Um, Dale caught his son trying to break into a car, and then his son does something on his phone so they can talk, and basically he turns his father in. And at the end of the show, Queen Latifah convinced him to go back to his father. And then this is where the cheesiness comes in. Queen Latifah is standing next to the son and she's telling him, you need to believe in your father. He believes in you. You need to give him a chance. Whatever, whatever. Cheesy, but it's TV, right? But the cheesiest part is when this 16-year-old hardened criminal kid that's breaking into boosting cars runs to his father like a 5-year-old. And it's not to say that I don't understand the emotions behind it, but it's something, the trepidation that the son felt, the guilt that the son felt for turning his innocent father over to the police was wiped away immediately. And that's just not how the brain works. I would expect him to have some type of guilt or trepidation some type of guilt, some type of hesitation, some type of like this yearning for forgiveness before approaching his father the way that he did. So to me, what that looks like is walking up to his father slowly and them hugging like, I forgive you, son. That's the way that comes across to me, but whatever. The only other thing I want to talk about in the show is when Queen Latifah talks to her daughter about not hanging out with the girl anymore. And this is another thing about keeping things current, is about how the daughter was saying that she kind of fell out with her old friend because her friend is a fake woke person who you know, their life is all about going to rallies and protests and stuff, but they don't do it because they believe in it. They do it because they want to be seen and because it looks good on their Instagram. So I thought that was pretty relevant, and I think it's interesting that they are including different aspects of Queen Latifah's life. Again, because when we think about the Equalizer and Denzel Washington's character, he has almost nobody that he's close to. And when he does get a little bit close to people, they either end up getting killed or getting in trouble and they require his help. So he's basically a hermit. And to have Queen Latifah have an aunt that's living with her and a child and dealing with the issues of being a divorced parent, as well as being the Equalizer, really is a twist. So I enjoyed the show. I thought that the story was pretty good. Again, primetime television, I've been desensitized to the cheesiness, so it's hard for me to get as into it as I probably would have wanted, but I'm going to keep watching it and keep reviewing it. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share it with somebody who you think will enjoy it. If you've been watching the show, let me know in the comments what you think. All right, peace out, home slices.